What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sidewalk Social. I'm John.
I'm Gianni.
Unfortunately, our amazing co-host Jared is not here today with us. Unfortunately,
had some technical difficulties.
they should be getting resolved as we speak.
He'll be back next week, 100%.
Yeah. Alright guys, for this week, we're going to be naming the top 3 artists for each genre in electronic music.
Now, a little disclaimer, we want you guys to know these are pioneers of the genre. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean these are the best people of the genre, these are your favorites, you know. These are people that kind of allowed for new artists to develop the genre even more. And just when you hear the genre, someone you think, oh yeah, they contributed a lot to this. Kind of the Hall of Fame of the genres. So we're just gonna elaborate on who we think kind of should be up there and kind of give thanks to these people that helped us, allowed us to create such a great genre.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so the first genre we're going to be discussing is dubstep. And the top 3 artists that I personally chose are Skrillex, Virtual Riot, and Bassnectar.
Ooh, I think you nailed those.
Yeah,
job.
I think so too. There's so many amazing, obviously amazing dubstep artists that are still killing it today.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
Maybe one person that I might add is Excision. He has festivals, you know, he's got these big tours with tons of artists and back-to-backs that you would never get to see anywhere else.
Right.
He just does a great job of really expanding on the genre and even collaborating with people not in the bass music scene like Illenium and some others. So it's been really cool, but great option. And Skrillex is such a great choice too. He was kind of what got me into electronic music, like in general. Yeah. So, and it was a dubstep track, you know? So like, it just shows like these people really do make it. How many people like their first song they heard was from Skrillex to get into electronic music?
That's
like,
true.
It just shows that dubstep just like paved a way for a lot of people to get into electronic music.
For Virtual Riot, he was a very unique choice because he was one of the first few artists that really started doing tutorials, doing live streams and stuff like that to really help out other artists gain the confidence to try and do it themselves. And maybe
what dubstep artist doesn't have his presets?
That's true. That's so true. You know, so many artists definitely use and manipulate his presets or samples just in any way.
Yeah, seriously.
Use his Virtual Riot samples,
so many songs I hear now, like,
which isn't a bad thing. It's great. Like that just shows how much of an impact he made on this community.
Really great. Yeah,
definitely. And for Bassnectar, you know, that was an interesting choice as well because I saw him at Moonrise for the first time. Like when I first went to Moonrise, that was my second festival ever. It was very experimental to me. You know, it was like
his sets are like very unique.
I want to just include one more artist. They weren't in the top 3 for dubstep, but I just wanted to give a good spotlight shout out to Adventure Club.
Ooh, my favorite.
Again, one of the staples in electronic music especially when it comes to dubstep and stuff like that. Their remix of Crave You by Flight Facilities, Your Heart, Retro City. Yeah. Even though Retro City was kind of like a moombahton kind of thing, but it was still like really insane. I
feel like they just created like this melodic dubstep genre that people weren't doing before them. Right. And then like of course it's been expanded upon now, but they really were pioneers, and back then nobody was really making anything like what they were making.
They had their own unique style. Yeah. Their own unique sound. For sure. So yeah, definitely worth mentioning.
So this is definitely one that I had a little bit of trouble because some people would say, oh, this person's not future bass. What is future bass? Guilty. I personally think future bass is saw stacks with trap drums. Now that can mean a lot of different things, but I'm gonna go ahead and say my top 3 for this genre as pioneers. I'm gonna go with Flume, San Holo, and Illenium. Okay. Illenium, oh man, just thinking about his song Say It, that was just such a revolutionary song for the genre. Yeah,
that remix was insane. Like when I first heard that, it was like someone recorded it at some one of his shows. Maybe it was on tour or something, but yeah, I just heard it a little bit, but it blew me away for sure. Yeah. I was like, whoa, this is crazy, like for Illenium. But then you know mentioned his Ashes album when it first came out. Yeah. That's what really, like, one of the few things that really kind of just people started noticing him a lot more.
Just a bunch of really good music in that album.
Exactly, it was so diverse. Right. I've definitely never really heard it before. And then his remix of Cascade when that first came out. Yeah. That was the first time I've ever heard him, and you know that really people started paying paying attention to him a lot more just from that.
For sure.
So collabed with like Excision, Set the Sky. Really
also did a really cool thing by bringing up Set the Sky to play the piano at his shows. Like just a very unique thing that was cool to see.
And his the collab with Seven Lions and Set the Sky.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, everyone knows that song. If you're an Millennium fan, like everyone should know that.
Definitely.
It's amazing. It's timeless, you know.
My next artist I'd have to say is San Holo. This guy has done so much. You think future bass, you think San Holo. Now, he doesn't like to call himself future bass, but he definitely paved the way with his label Bitbird.
Bitbird.
I mean, I didn't even realize. Nice.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you gotta represent.
I mean, what a great label, and so many great, amazing artists they're putting on there to just keep pushing that future bass genre forwards.
It truly blows me away every time, you know, an artist from Bitbird. Shout out to the Birds, really. You guys are amazing, and everything you do is just so humble and loving. And like I said, the artists, they're paving new ways just through electronic music in general.
Right.
But like you said, San Holo was definitely one of the first few that really gave other potential future bass artists, you know, confidence in that.
For sure.
And they wanted to do it their own way, you know. So he paved a really large road for that.
Flume. This guy has just done so much. I just feel like when you think future bass, not now, I'm not saying now, I just want to clarify, but back then, like,
you know, I don't know if I would personally say he was future bass.
Okay.
You know, because I'd say Flume has his own style, even from back then when he first started out. Like,
for sure,
no one has ever heard that kind of stuff before. But then if you look at like tutorials today, like on music production,
right,
it always has
how to be like Flume,
how to be like Flume, how to be like Millennium, how to be like San Holo, all those people. So it's like it proves your point as well, you know. So
right, definitely one of the biggest songs when he put out that Tennis Courts remix.
Oh God.
Woo! That was just like that just started so much. Like that was such a cool song.
I was like, oh my God, like Flume. You didn't have to do that to us.
That was
it took my breath away. And also, everyone know, if anyone is a Flume fan, they have to know the remix of Disclosure, You and Me.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's like the strings and the like the chords and just like everything in that song is so invigorating, you know?
What's cool about that song is like you could play it now and like it still goes off.
It definitely does.
Years later. And that just showed that like he was doing something so crazy back then that now people are just trying to imitate, and it's awesome.
Definitely.
So for our next genre, we decided to go with house. Very popular genre.
Good old house.
You know, good old house.
Come on.
Main stage stuff. Not anymore. All right, anyways, let's get our top 3 for house. Swedish House Mafia.
Ooh, yep.
Which, if you guys haven't heard "Don't You Worry, Child," I mean that is such a big song.
Yeah, seriously. Like, people who don't even know what electronic music is has heard that song.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, they've had sponsorships with Grey Goose. When they came back to Ultra, like everybody was so excited. They got that last set. It was live streamed. You know.
Definitely. Yeah.
Honestly, I just think of them as like great festival music.
It is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it gives people the real spotlight on like an electronic music genre that anyone can enjoy because it's danceable. It's totally danceable. Not saying that the other genres aren't danceable, but for the average listener, yeah, you would want to show them like Swedish House Mafia.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. Another great artist I'd have to say is Deadmau5 for sure. I mean, he's been around for such a long time, and I know a lot of people like he gets a little bit of hate now, but like he's just been such a great person for music community as a whole.
Yes, definitely.
Literally like combining electronic music, getting it on the radio. Right. You know, his songs like Strobe, Ghost and stuff. That is just such a classic song.
Some chords. Like Chulu Sleeps. Oh God, I can go on forever.
Yeah, I mean those are just such great classic songs. Another artist that I'd have to throw in there is Avicii. I mean, that guy, Levels.
Yep, come on.
Levels is just such a classic.
That was a given, you know?
Just such a classic.
An artist that I would love to put on that list, Cascade. I want to give Cascade some spotlight.
Yeah.
When he started off like Raining, that single Raining, and then he came out with Fire and Ice.
Yep.
That whole album like changed my life. We're gonna be tackling trap.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. So for the top 3 artists that are pioneers to me, I chose R.O. Grime,
nice,
Bauer,
nice,
and Mr. Carmack.
Nice.
The reason for Bauer, you guys all know the Harlem Shake, how that became such a meme.
Oh yeah.
You know, trap songs, like people will know that song at the top of their heads if they heard it. Like, oh okay, yeah, I've heard of this guy. And then Roll Up, you know his remix of
From Floss.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It was just that one was like one of the first trap songs I've ever heard.
Roll
like,
up the
oh my god, I was like,
Yeah.
I was blown away. I was like, whoa, this is so dope. You know, this is
Yeah.
so cool. And then, you know, he came out with his album Double A, which is really cool. Bunch of good collaborations on there. You know, for RL Grime, you know, anyone who's into trap music in general can easily have a love for RL Grime. You
His
know?
Halloween mixes.
Oh my god, his Halloween mixes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're always so fire. His single Core.
Oh my god. Which some say is the EDM mating call.
I like that. I haven't
Oh,
heard
it's
that.
so
That's
funny. I saw a tweet about it once. Like some guy was like, some person was saying like, oh yeah, it's the EDM.
EDM. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that was great. I love that. And then yeah, his remix of Benny Benassi, Satisfaction.
Yeah.
Timeless.
And that
record.
Nova album just kind of put him in another level. I
It really
think.
did. It was really good. Like and then, you know, he did releases off like We Did It and stuff like that.
Yep.
And his collab with Bauer, Infinite Dapps.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
that's
I
a
forgot about that one. Yeah.
Really underrated song. One of my personal favorites for sure. And for Mr. Carmack, one of the most underrated trap artists. But
I
like
couldn't agree more.
underrated, but one of the most, you know, he's the biggest,
He likes
one
it
of the
that
biggest
way,
pioneers.
honestly.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a lot of amazing good beats, you know, and I love that.
Yeah.
He's a part of Team Supreme. Shout out to Team Supreme. The whole team is amazing. So.
Very great choices. One
Yeah.
that I would have to add, Flostradamus. I know you
Yes.
mentioned the remix that
Yes.
Bauer did for him, but
Yeah.
Floss is just like they're the hoodie boys, you know?
Yeah,
like they've
come
just
on.
been around. They started trap, honestly.
Yeah.
They actually really got me into trap.
Right.
And then when they started collabing with different people like Nightmare and like just kind of kept pushing the genre forward. Big Room House.
Ooh.
A little bit older genre. My first person I gotta go with is Mr. Tiesto.
Okay.
This
yeah.
guy, I
all right.
mean, you can't, when you think pioneer, this guy has been doing it longer than anyone. He was making trance a long time ago. You know, he transitioned a couple years later to the Big Room, and he's still making Big Room today. He has collabed with Jaws, Chainsmokers, Cashmere. I mean,
Martin Garrix.
Martin Garrix. The guy's collabed with
One of the
everyone.
best collabs I've ever heard. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Only Way Is
definitely.
Up. And
Oh, with the
that's so
7-Up
true.
commercial.
Oh my god, yeah,
That
that's
was
so
so
true.
cool,
Those
yeah.
7-Up commercials were really creative
Yeah,
when it
no,
came
that
to
was
that.
sick,
You know,
yeah.
really colorful.
So the next artist I have is none other than Martin Garrix, one of my personal favorites. He's the #1 DJ right now on DJ Mag and a couple of other lists. He was one of the youngest artists to play Ultra Main Stage, which was really cool. And
Yeah.
this year he has his own record label, Stampede Records.
Oh my
I hope I'm
God.
pronouncing that correctly. But it was so cool. He had his own stage at Ultra this year just for his
Oh.
record label.
Yeah.
And he just had all of the artists that like were on his label play it. And he played all of their songs for a surprise set. It was just
Wow.
it was just super cool. Animals, I mean, that was one of the
Yeah.
biggest songs ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was so cool when that song came out and really created some new stuff after that.
That collab he did with Jay Hardway, I believe that's his name.
Oh, yeah.
Wizard.
Yes.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Back then when I was really into that, it blew my mind. I was like, whoa, that's really
Yeah.
cool. It's like the sound design was pretty interesting.
All the songs in that era from him were just like genius.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
Really great.
Yeah.
Ahead of
It
their
was-
time, yeah.
I was gonna say ahead of its time, but I was like, you know what? It was definitely perfect for that time.
Yeah.
You know, because it
Yeah.
was like when I got into electronic, when a lot of us got into electronic music, we all had our big room house phase. Some,
For sure.
you know, maybe some of us still do.
And my final artist is the man Hardwell. This
Yeah.
guy is actually doing a lot more than people even think. He's been around for
Yeah.
a long time, but he's got his own cologne. He's got his own record label, Revealed Recordings, which is arguably one of the best record labels.
One of the most well known in the electronic
Yeah,
music scene.
for sure.
And his radio show. I
Great radio
I
show.
used to listen to his radio show a lot.
And then he also had like a really cool documentary.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
That should be interesting. moombahton.
Ooh.
The top 3 artists that I wanted to choose for this. First, Dylan Francis.
Oh, yeah.
By far, I have to give it to him. Second, I want to definitely say etc. etc. Third, I wanted to give it to Major Lazer. So for Dylan, we all know Dylan. We all know Dylan Francis,
Yeah.
how he started off with moombahton. That's how Diplo even found him. I think Diplo heard his song Master Blaster, one of
Oh, yeah.
his core song, the song that really like started his career. Thanks,
Right.
you know, with the help of Diplo and, you know, and Matt Decent and all that. But then, you know, he kept releasing a lot of amazing moombahton records. You know, this mixtape is fire.
IDGAFOS.
IDGAFOS. You know, even some really good moombahton songs on Money Sucks Friends Rule, Not Butter.
Yeah.
I Can't Take It. And just, you know, he's really started out with like just doing such a interesting genre that wasn't so popular at the time.
Yeah.
And he was definitely one of the first few that really brought it up into the spotlight.
And one of the few still playing moombahton in their sets.
Definitely. And
not very many people playing it.
Exactly. And even with this this whole Spanish album he did, What? Whether you like it or not, he definitely went back to his moombahton roots with that, but in a different aspect. And next, I want to mention Etc. Etc. If you notice, Etc. Etc. always makes really good moombahton. You know, whenever he collabs with like Bro Safari, their collab with Suspects.
I feel like you can't mention Etc. Etc. without Bro Safari
or UFO. You know
they have their Moomba season mixes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't know. They just both did such a great job. They're kind of who you think about when you hear moombahton.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Besides Dylan, you know, their chemistry is so good, and and it just comes out into a really amazing.
And their branding kind of like goes really well with like their tracks. Like it's very kind of like a little weird, but like very unique and like goes with the flow. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. And then finally, I want to mention Major Lazer. Watch out for this. Like,
oh yeah,
such a timeless moombahton record. And then you
very
know,
worldly records too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And then you know, even his the song "Lean On" with the collab of DJ Snake. And Mo. You know, it's pure moombahton.
I mean, that was like one of the most played songs ever.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was moombahton.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like that drum pattern for sure.
Oh, and the vibe of it was so really good. I really love it. Bass house.
Ooh.
Let's get into some bass house.
Love bass house.
So the top 3 artists that really kind of just paved that new kind of genre into this community, I wanted to give it to Jaws, Joyride, and Ghastly. Easy picks for me, definitely. A lot of people are doing bass house now.
A little bit of a newer genre though.
A little newer genre. But who are the ones that really kind of just really started it all to like bring it into the spotlight and make people want to listen to this?
For sure.
Jaws, I want to give it to him with Feel the Volume, one of the most timeless records in the bass house genre. You know, he started off with those remixes. Like he remixed like the Dylan Francis remix of the Dead Mouse record, Some Chords.
Yeah.
So it was like a remix of a remix.
Right.
It was his bass house remix.
Yeah.
He also did collaborations with Borgor and many other crazy artists. You know, out there.
Chainsmokers, Tiesto, like he's done.
He's everywhere. Yeah. You know, he's everywhere. So next, I wanted to give it to Joyride.
Yeah.
Joyride, like come on, like Joyride is just. The Box, you know, Warehouse, you know, that was released on Owsla. Yeah. You know, and his whole branding with cars and how it's like going so fast, like bass house does. You know, it's a very fast-paced genre in general. So I thought that was genius on his part, you know. And I want to give a spotlight to Ghastly. One of the first few songs I've ever heard by him was his collab with Miha on the Owsla compilation. It was like a Christmas compilation. And they did a whole live stream doing it and like to play out the songs, and there was bunch of different artists playing that event, which was really cool.
Yeah. And the Getter collab.
And then the Getter collab, 666, which was also on an Owsla compilation.
So sick, yeah.
Really cool record.
Very unique branding and stuff too.
Yeah, and it goes off. Trance has come a very long way. The top 3 artists I really wanted to give some spotlight. First artist I want to give it to is Armin Van Buuren. I wanted to give it to Above and Beyond. And finally, I want to say Dash Berlin.
Yeah.
Let's start with Armin. When he came out with Intense, that whole amazing album. It was so good. He has 2 record labels, Armid and Armada Music.
I didn't know he had 2.
Armid, it has, I don't know if you guys have heard of Armid, it has the little angel as the little mascot.
Oh, that's him? Wow,
that's his personal one. Some of the most original and unique pieces in terms of trance music. And then Armada Music, that was found by 3 people. I forget the 2 other people, but Armin was definitely in there.
He's one of the few guys that plays 2 sets, you know. He's done a main stage set sometimes where it could be trance, it could be like something else. And then he always has like a very specific trance set that's always really like special.
Right, and it's just just in general, trance sets are just so beautiful and so, you know, heartwarming, and, you know, anyone can really enjoy it. You know, they can get lost.
Definitely a cool, different vibe.
Right. Yeah. Next I want to talk about is Above and Beyond. Yeah. Now, come on. Above and Beyond, like their music is impeccable. It's so good. You know, like when they came out with a thing called Love, Sun and Moon.
One of the few trance artists played on the radio constantly.
Exactly. And, you know, I think one of the most amazing albums from them was "We Are All We Need."
Oh
that
my
single was
that song is just that's one of the best songs ever.
It really did, you know. And then I love what they do when you know, they let an audience member press the play button.
Press the play
on
button.
the
That is
CDJs.
so sick.
They're in front of the crowd.
They brought Walter White out there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like it gives everyone like someone a shot to really see what they're seeing in their own eyes.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful crowd full of amazing people that go there to get lost and escape reality.
Definitely.
You know? Then finally I want to talk about Dash Berlin. Came out with that album #Music is Life. So many good songs on that. It has amazing songs such as When You're Around, When the Sky Falls Down, and also a really amazing flip he did for the Band of Horses, The Funeral.
Oh, nice.
The original is really good, but he took it into that trance era and really created his own vibe with it.
Drum and bass.
Ooh, okay.
So, first one on drum and bass, have to say Noisia. These guys, I mean,
that's true.
They're literally drum and bass.
They're legends.
You know, some of the best sound designers of all time. They have 3 different labels, which is, I don't even know very many people that even have 2. 3 is crazy.
Jeez, I said like in the past genre, Armin had 2, but they have 3.
I know, I thought that was impressive. They have 3 of their own labels.
Whoa.
They've also released on Outlaw. They've released on Jay-Z's record label. They've released on Mousetrap.
What?
They've
That's crazy.
And then they also created with Foreign Beggars the supergroup I Am Legion, which was super cool.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
The next artist we have is Pendulum. Now, they had a really dope ultra performance. Rob Swire from Knife Party is in the group.
Yeah.
They had a song called Tarantula, which really brought them a lot of success, crossing into over that mainstream radio sound, which is really cool because a lot of drum and bass artists, you know, you're not going to hear them on mainstream radio.
Definitely not. So it's definitely a unique step for them, for sure.
Yeah.
A big step.
And then the last one is Andy C. He's known a lot for his mixing skills. He's won a lot of DJ drum and bass competitions. He's actually created the double drop, which is something that a lot of... Yeah, I was reading up on that, and he actually pioneered that, apparently.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I never would have thought he would create a double drop.
He also has Ram Records, which is one of the best for drum and bass producers to submit their music to and kind of just keeping the drum and bass genre alive.
Techno genre. Carla Cox is my first. He had a residency on Space Ibiza from 2001 to 2006.
Yeah.
Played many shows. He's played a lot of good festivals such as Ultra.
He has his own stage at Ultra too. Cox and Friends.
Cox and Friends, Tomorrowland. You name it. You know, he's everywhere.
Very cool documentary on Netflix with Martin Garrix if you want to go check out more about him.
And also to mention, Carl Cox was also a monthly DJ on the BBC
Radio.
Yeah, definitely. Aphex Twin, they were huge inspirations for Radiohead and Daft Punk.
Yeah.
And in 2015, he actually won a Grammy for the best electronic music album.
When he came back to Aphex Twins, Yeah,
it was insane. Like, this guy has a really long history, really good history too.
Tons of awards,
Yeah, definitely. The last artist I want to give a big shout out to is Moley. He made a song with Gwen Stefani that was one of the top songs, and you know, he's vegan. That's cool. I thought that was cool because I'm a vegetarian.
He's definitely one of the guys that brought that sound, that techno sound, over to US and UK and kind of helped festivals adopt that sound into their festivals and different things.
Made a lot more people fall in love with the genre in general. In 1999, Moby released his album called Play, which didn't get a lot of recognition at the time, but in the 2000s, it all of a sudden got licensed to a bunch of movies, TV shows, radio, you name it, you know? So I thought that was pretty big for him. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode. And don't forget, we filmed an amazing episode of Sidewalk Social last week. It is the most underrated artists.
Yeah, that was a fun one to shoot.
That was so much fun. Make sure you guys go check that out. And also, don't forget to comment below on artists that we maybe have missed, or maybe list your top 3 artists for each genre.
If there's any artists that you thought really paved the way for certain genres, we want to hear about them, you know? We want to hear what you guys think, so go ahead and leave them in the comments below.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.